Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everyone, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Super excited to be on this call today. I started the morning with my daily GPS and a little bit, I've still got my prayer and scripture to do after the call. So I had to, kind of interrupt my daily GPS to get on the call this morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And I'm so glad that I did, because as we were just doing our breathing and doing some rounds of gratitude, I just got more and more information. I felt like I was just getting new insights by the second. And some of the people on the call, that were sharing the things that they were grateful for, there were a few things that were mentioned about being on the same wavelength with people, like-minded individuals. Somebody else also mentioned being on different wavelengths so that we get to learn new insights from different people that are not quite, as like-minded as we are, and expanding our minds with discussion and, just lots of things that had to do with learning. And I just felt that, all of this and me getting this new information as we were doing our rounds of gratitude, I'm really excited to see what we get to learn with this subject of gratitude for learning at light speed. Because light has wavelengths also. And so as people were talking about being on the same wavelength, I, kind of put those two together. So we're going to just see what we get to learn from that. I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds, and we're going to have a private meditation, silent meditation on gratitude for learning at light speed, and just see what comes up. So 90 seconds, gratitude for learning at light speed, just your own private meditation and writing down your own personal inspiration that's coming to you. Begin. All right. The thing that came to me mostly was being in a space to be able to receive higher learning at light speed. The gratitude call, that I feel like this is a safe, open, happy, comfy space. Those were the words that I wrote down. Safe, happy, open, comfy space. And nature is another place where I feel like I can be just open to receive. And I was at church yesterday, and especially during the sacrament, where it's very quiet and reverent and nobody else is talking. It's just, the sacrament is just being passed, and I'm just able to sit there quietly. Also, I go to the temple a few times a month. I volunteer there once a week, and then I also go for my own personal learning at least once a month. And so that's another sacred place, sacred quiet place that I can be. So that was what really came to me, was just being in a place where there's no other distractions, that, you know, a word can be said or a thought can come into my heart, and I can just give myself the time to sort of let it wander and ponder without distraction, and gain some new insights. Just being in sacred places, sacred quiet places. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'd like to say something.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Daniel.
I'm thinking in terms of like learning, and I just got like spooked because there's so much I don't know. You know, it's a new, there is so much to learn, and not enough time, obviously. So yeah, I would like to learn as quickly as possible, but I'm not that way. I'm more like, I tend to, as you do, you know, to meditate on certain things, certain ideas. So I don't have that flexibility or that gift of learning quickly, especially at light speed. Mm-hmm. And so, but the thing is, it's just, you know, it forces me to choose out of so much that I don't know. You know, what am I gonna fix my mind on? So it almost paralyzes me, and it's just kind of scary. Like right now, I'm looking at psychology, and there are so many different schools that you can learn from, and you got to make a choice. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, you know, like it's almost enough to want me to simply stop and just let it just soak in, and not even like push for it. You know, whatever you know touches me at the moment. You know, let God direct, and I'll follow. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, Daniel. And yes, of course, when we are just like in the world and there's so much information, we just think about the internet. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, there would be no way that we could take it all in. And I have to say that this learning that I'm receiving, that I was receiving, you know, during our rounds of gratitude, this has been a years long. So it's line upon line, little bit here, a little bit there, being led step by step, you know, writing something down, putting it up on my vision board, you know, for a week or a month or whatever, and doing from permission process when I doubt that I can learn it. You know, this has been a definitely years long process. And my daily GPS this morning, there was just one little tiny thing that opened up to me. And I was like, wow, never considered that before. It was just one little tiny thing. And that opened the door for all of this light speed learning. So the light speed learning is not like, you know, a genius gift that someone has. It's when we've been prepared and we're ready, you know, we've gotten all these little bits and pieces that have led it up to it, that God says, okay, she's ready for the rest of it. And it's just like this huge download. That's what I was experiencing this morning. So I'm with you. Line upon line is totally good. And also another part to that has been that over the years, I have recognized the things that are important for me to learn about, and then what is a just total distraction that doesn't even apply to my purpose, my mission, who I am, that I get to leave that for somebody else, that's their purpose, their mission, and their calling. And so even narrowing down what it's important for me to be open to learn has really been able to clear some of that distraction as well, and give me the opportunity to learn faster. So thanks for bringing that up. And that feeling of being paralyzed, I'm sure we're going to be addressing that in the permission process.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Who else has something they'd like to share?
Well, I've got some pretty, had some pretty cool experiences with learning, especially in the temple. It's just been amazing that I could learn things there that normally outside the temple I may struggle with, but it's easier for me to learn in the temple for some reason. So, but the other thing that came to me was just recognizing that and being aware that that of thoughts that are coming and not push them away. That is learning that I can. Those are things I can learn. Boy, I don't know how to articulate this, but to trusting and going with it. I think of moving at the speed of thought. And when I have a thought to do something and I act on it, it just boom happens. So it's like learning at light speed. It's those things come to you and you do them right away, or you are able to process them and when you don't discard it or push it away. You just get to learn quicker, and it's amazing how much quicker I learn today than I used to, and that I can when I have an impression or download, I act on it and I record it and learn from it, and it has to do with my life at the moment, and not just at the moment. But don't just write it down and forget about it, but learning at that light speed. Boy, I'm just really grateful that I can recognize it, but I'm not articulating this the best.
That's okay. I want to share a couple things that have come to me as you were talking, and maybe this will kind of bring it all together. I want to go back to what Daniel was talking about, learning at light speed. I wrote change at the speed of thought, changing at light speed. If you have a thought that, wow, I'm paralyzed at this idea of learning at light speed, you can either push that thought away and say, well, I don't like that thought, so I'm just going to allow myself to not be able to learn at light speed, or you can process it. You can sit and, let that sit with you for just a moment and say, does that serve me? Yeah, right now it actually does serve me. I'm going to keep that thought. Or you can say, no, you know what? I think I do want to learn a little bit faster. So I'm going to take a look at that and see if there's a different way that I could say it that would allow me to learn at a faster pace. And then the other one that you're talking about is just do it. If you have a thought and you immediately realize that it's not working for you, just change the thought and say, okay, I'm just going to go do it. So when we get into our permission process, this is going to be a really great opportunity to look at some of those thoughts. This is learning. Take a moment and just process that. Do I want to keep that? So learning can be additional learning that we're open to receive because we're prepared to receive it. Learning could also be recognizing a limiting belief or a low vibration emotion that we're feeling that would stop us from learning at a faster pace. And we can learn from that emotion, learn from that limiting belief, what is the obstacle that is keeping us from moving forward. And to trust those thoughts, whether they're positive or negative, to know that this is just part of my learning.
Yeah, thank you, Eileen. I was just going to say, when I've been praying for further light and knowledge, it's amazing how it will come, and it comes at not my own speed, but a heavenly speed.
Awesome. I love that idea that it comes at a heavenly speed, because God really knows us better than we know ourselves, and He knows what we need to know now and what can wait. So I love that. And when you're praying for it, you're basically saying, I'm open to it. And that can allow it in. I want to just shed a little bit of light on this idea of light speed. You know, we have one meaning of light speed. It means like super fast, immediate, you know, split second, millisecond speed. But light speed could be as soon as light is shed onto it. As soon as we receive that, you know, the light bulb comes on, aha, you know, have one of those aha moments. Could also mean shedding the light of Christ on it, you know, maybe seeing things through the eyes of Christ, from the perspective of, you know, pure love. There's a lot of different ways that we could look at this idea of light speed too. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process? All right, let's go ahead and just take a deep breath. And just being open to learning, shifting, changing our minds at the speed of thought, at the speed of light being shed on possibly some thoughts that we have had before, or ways, decisions that we'd made about the way things have to be in the past. Just being open to change or learning at light speed, with all these different meanings of light. One more deep breath. And let's address the obvious. What is the limiting belief that's coming up for you right now about learning at light speed? Might be an emotion that you're feeling. See if you can just articulate where that emotion is coming from, what the limiting belief is that's producing the emotion. What's the limiting belief that would tell you that you can't learn at light speed, or that it's hard? And as you're getting more clear with what that limiting belief is, examine the cost of it, because with every limiting belief, there comes an outcome. The limiting belief will produce something just as a positive. Faith-filled belief will produce something, so will a limiting belief produce something. So what is the cost of having that limiting belief? What is the cost to the speed at which you can learn, the amount of information that you can take in, the way that you can use it as wisdom, utilize the new knowledge that you have? What is the outcome? What is the cost of that limiting belief? And now that you're aware of what that cost is, just take a look at that cost and make the decision right now, in a split second at light speed. Do you want to keep that limiting belief, or do you want to change it? If you want to give yourself permission to change that limiting belief and the outcome that comes with it, just say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So what are some new beliefs that will allow you to change that limiting belief, let go of it, set it aside, give it back to the universe, and to choose into a new way of being? What are the new beliefs that will allow you to be more open to learning at light speed, understanding, comprehending, understanding what light really means, what light speed really means? What new beliefs will really put you into this space, this sacred space where you're not distracted, where you're able to receive and learn at light speed? What are your new beliefs? And as you're looking over that list of new beliefs, I invite you to open your mind and your heart also to receive whatever is available to you, whatever you're prepared to receive, and just have that feeling, bring those new beliefs into your consciousness and even into your subconscious. Bring them into your heart, into your mind, and communicate to God and communicate to the universe that you are now ready to receive whatever He has to give you today. And I invite you to be aware of possibly a problem or a challenge that you've had that maybe you haven't been able to see the answer. Maybe you haven't been able to understand what the solution is. Just be aware of what that problem is. And then apply these new beliefs to that problem. Apply these new beliefs to knowing that the solution is available, that everything is possible, and it's just been hidden to you because possibly you weren't ready to receive it, or you just hadn't asked. Whatever the reason why you hadn't had the solution before, right now, today, we're open to learn what that solution is. And as you're getting ready and prepared, I invite you to ask the question that will open the door for that solution to come to you. And whether it comes immediately or if you just leave yourself open today for that to settle upon you whenever the time is right, we're just going to allow that answer to unfold, that solution to unfold at the perfect time. But what is the solution? What is the perfect solution to this challenge or obstacle? And just be open to receive that. And trust that the first thing that comes to you is the answer. It may seem too small. It may seem like completely unconnected, and that's okay. Just trust that this is learning at light speed. I haven't learned at light speed before. I don't even know what it looks like, so I'm just going to allow it to be. And now that you are receiving more light on that solution, I invite you to be open to know what is the one most important thing for you to do today that will really anchor in this new thought that has come to you, really anchor in these new beliefs, these ideas that you can learn at light speed, and allow yourself to be free instead of being paralyzed by fear. Be free to act in faith on whatever it is that you're receiving right now. The one most important thing and this solution to the problem or challenge that you've been experiencing. So allow yourself to be free to move, free to act, free to do. And in a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. Just want to invite anyone, if you're struggling in any way, to reach out to me. And you do that by going to askwylene.com, and that'll take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. And you wouldn't think that 15 minutes is enough, but gosh, if we learn at light speed, it's plenty. It's totally enough. And that's what happens on these 15-minute calls is we invite light to come into the space, and the solution presents itself. So if you are interested in having that experience, all you have to do is just go to askwylene.com and schedule a time with me. It's a free call, 15-minute call with me. Who has something that they would like to share about what they've learned today?
I would. My limiting belief was I won't be able to keep up with learning at light speed.
Mm-hmm.
That was my limiting belief. And the cost is, well, I'll slow down, but really I give up. And I've seen that. I just give up in my life. And so I've done that in the past. And so my new beliefs are I am in alignment with light speed. I am living in the present moment, because living in the present moment is where I can receive that learning. I am receiving further light and knowledge. I am moving at the speed of thought. I am moving at light speed. I'm open to the perfect solution, and I have some others, but I'm free to act on inspirational learning.
Beautiful. Wow. Awesome. Thank you for sharing those new beliefs. Those are all really powerful. Appreciate that. Anyone else like to share? Daniel, if you don't mind, I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you learn something new today? You might need to unmute yourself. All right, maybe he's not able to unmute. Any last thoughts before we end our call today?
Just that I am seeing what there is to learn.
Beautiful. We see at light speed, don't we?
Yeah, I do.
We open our eyes and we see immediately, and that's, you know, light speed. Love that. Thank you. All right. Thank you all for
This is
joining.
Suzanne.
Okay, go ahead, Suzanne.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share my new beliefs.
All right.
Inspiration and revelation come to me easily. I
Mhm.
recognize the inspiration or information. I'm ready to receive what I am to receive. I see the answer and solution easily.
Beautiful. Thank you. I want to point out that, you know, we might not be able to 100% believe that we can learn at light speed, but we definitely know that inspiration comes at light speed. Inspiration happens at light speed. So we might need to develop that skill of being able to receive at light speed and to learn, but we know that it's always instantaneously available whenever we ask. So there's two parts to that equation. One part's already there. All we need to do is just work on receiving. Thank you.
And I also wanted to emphasize the recognized part, because I think sometimes we might receive something but not recognize it.
True, very true. I think that's sometimes what slows down our learning is when we push that away. You know, we were talking about like receiving or like pushing away, processing it, or doing it. We have one of those three choices. And learning at light speed would be, oh, got it, done, do it. That would be learning at light speed. But we have the choice to process it, or we also have the choice to push it away. So thank you. All right, awesome. I know we could probably keep sharing, so I encourage you to go to the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and we would love to hear your thoughts there. And I know I'm going to be creating some videos and some things today because of the things I've been learning today. And so you can catch those on that Facebook group as well, or on my business page. All right. Love you guys. We'll look forward to tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And until then, have an awesome day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eileen.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.